We're now open to Dieter.
Yeah, thanks for introducing. Okay, before we start our last or long flight home, we start the last press conference slowly, as you heard with our head coach, Vincent. Okay, please start. Give us the questions. First row. No, second row. Please.
Hello, Vincent. Congratulations tonight. Just on Aston Villa, your opponents, they had a fantastic season last season and qualified for the Champions League. They have billionaire owners, yet they're still having to sell players to comply with regulations. What are your thoughts on those regulations that are essentially capping their ambition?
Oh, guys, we've traveled in so many different time zones. I don't want to get into FFP regulations and everything else. I've lived it myself when I was in England, when I was at Burnley, and you know what comes with it. No, just focus on the game, you know, and what Villa is able to do, because probably in my playing days we played against an Aston Villa that was sometimes third, fourth, fifth, and then sometimes fighting relegation. So they have consistency at the moment. So whatever they're doing, they found a model to compete. They found a model to push into that top 4, top 5 in England, which is really tough. There's so many teams with other means and resources who are fighting for those spots that Villa is able to achieve on a consistent basis at the moment. So nothing but respect from my side for the work that they are doing. And then I would say that obviously we're always finding, you know, we're always trying to find our form as quickly as possible. But at this stage of pre-season for us, to show the energy we showed in this game against a Villa team that I just mentioned to you, commands a lot of respect. I was really pleased with our performance, and that's about as much as I want to say about the whole situation.
Next one for German media, Vincent Kompany.
English, Deutsch? English?
English.
Hello, Mr. Kompany. After being a week in Asia and after this game tonight, what are your conclusions about this trip? And is there any player which left a positive surprise on you?
Yeah, in general, I told the players honestly that I was impressed, because you know who's there and you know who's not there as well. So it's difficult to go into these games when so many players are still to come back and still look the same, still look the Bayern Munich that we can be. You know, and obviously there's going to be a difference, because some players are young, some players never played against a team from this level. But if I look at how Binder and Maicon defended today, the duels they went into, the fight, you know, like Maicon took on the fight with Matty Cash. You know, I've been there with other teams against these same players, and I know how tough it is to come out with a good performance. If I look at just in general, the energy we had in midfield also with Pavlo, Bischoff, Connie, who helps us anywhere we need him, you know. So I can keep naming reasons, but then you go and look at who still has to come back for us. And then the picture is at least interesting. We put a lot of time, a lot of energy in the development of these players who you saw today. We've been doing it for like nearly 12 months now. And to get a little bit of reward for the work we did behind the scenes, that doesn't look like, it's not the 122 goals you had in the Bundesliga, it's not the Ballon d'Or winners or contenders, but it's these boys that we've put a lot of time into to help us be a bit more of a bigger squad with our own resources. You talk about resources, every club has its means and every club has its limits. And we can do creative things, but this is one way for us to strengthen the squad. So I was happy with that.
Next one on the right side.
Congrats, Coach Vincent. This is Jeremiah from a local newspaper, Mingpao. We have seen that Joshua is on the bench, but he was out of the match and the training. So how was the conditions of him? Thank you.
He has a little bit of something that he still carries from the World Cup, and to his leg, and we managed him. So he trained this morning, but he wasn't involved in the game. And we're trying to make sure that this little bit of time we still have now before the start of the season, that we don't do anything too extreme with his situation. So he'll be fine, but this is what we think. But with the trip and with everything, we chose to be more cautious, more careful.
Okay, and the last one right behind. Yes, please.
Hello, Vincent. The team has under a lot of pressure in the final stage of the second half. What's your thought? And the pitch conditions obviously is not the best condition. Do you think it will attract the team performance?
One part of the question I'll answer. The second part I'll ask you the question. So the first part about the second part actually of that question about the pitch. Like I said, it's part of the things that I was quite impressed of from our team. The pitch looks better from the stadium because with the staff we came to watch the Chelsea against Juventus game in this stadium, and from the boxes, the pitch actually looks better than when you're on the pitch. When you're on the pitch, it's a challenge. And then to see how fast these boys are still able to move the ball and dribble and in tight spaces get out. Sometimes I don't think people realize how good you have to be technically to do, to get out of situations like this. So that's why I was impressed. And the second part of the question, why do you think we were under pressure in the last 10 minutes? Yeah, but it happened just a little bit before that. What do you think?
Without microphone.
No, I'll let you review the game, and obviously, part of the answer is when you get to this final stages of a game, and both teams are making a lot of changes, and we went even younger than at the start. You lose a little bit the control of what's happening in those moments. It's more behaviors and momentum than real tactical discipline or anything that you've coached in that moment. So the last 10-15 minutes were, I think, a little bit of a reflection of what pre-season is. A lot of changes, and I think both teams still trying to win, both teams still running a lot and trying to be positive, but just less difficult to control in that sense as a coach. Yeah.
Okay, on your way back with the microphone, the last one here, please.
Could you speak with Sacha Boey? Is he injured? And what are you putting your focus on for the next days until the season starts?
Yeah, I spoke to Sacha. He seems to be fine. He just got a kick. I thought he was very good today. The situation, I think, for Sacha is clear. I think the club communicated with him also very clearly. So we are looking for a solution. But in the end, to train like he trained so far, to play like he played as well, I think that side of it is part of the things I said was impressive in this game today. In the end, he comes here, he gives everything. Of course, you'd say as a professional player, you expect him to do that, but I've seen many players who can't do it, and so, yeah, positive performance for him, and nothing too bad with the injury. And then what we're looking at for the future. Usually when I do my press conferences in Germany, I have the sporting director, Max or Christoph, next to me. I'm not trying to avoid the question, but in the end, it's their responsibility to look in the market for either exits or incoming. But as you can see, we did a lot of the transfer we wanted to do really, really early. So they still have to come. I think Nene Brown was there obviously today. He had a positive performance as well. But we've got some players coming back that we're excited about. So our squad will develop from this point onwards just by the fact that we're getting players back. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Coach. And that wraps up our post-match press conference. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye. Ciao.